How do you find a community of writers to write with if you don't necessarily have a community? Or maybe you do and you're just not sure how to create a community. We know that right now there's a lot going on with one of the industry leaders, NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. There's a lot going on. And if you no longer feel safe in that community, if you no longer feel like you want to participate in that, or if that was never your vibe, what do you do to then create a community around you? I love being in charge and being responsible for your own community. I've never been a huge fan of these big establishments running these things because a lot falls through the cracks and you don't necessarily find the best fit for you. I want you to curate that for yourself. Now, if you're brand new and you know nobody, you're going to have to take to social media. You're going to have to find some friends and you're going to have to do some trial periods with this. But if you know some people, invite them to the party. Find people, and this is key. If you take nothing away from this video, take this. If you find people who operate the same way that you do, you're going to be far more functional in how you're creating this. For example, if you're a fast writer, you should be working with other fast writers. You should not be working with slow writers. If you are a medium speed writer, you should not be working with super fast writers. Find people on your level and find people in your space. Find people in your genre. What are you writing? Find people in that area because nobody's going to be able to give you good, qualified experience and information and help and feedback if they're not in the same space as you. If you're brand new, find new people. You should not be working with highly established authors. And likewise, if you're a highly established author, you shouldn't be working with the newbies because there's a power dynamic that is not equal there. The person who knows what they're doing is going to get inundated with questions and feel like they have to carry the weight of the new person. And the new person is going to maybe feel bad that they have to constantly be asking these questions. So yes, you should have mentors, but not as a part of your writing community. This is a different thing. You should have people who are more advanced than you that you're learning from. That's a mentorship. That is you studying them. And that's a whole different thing. We talk about that a lot in different videos. If you want to talk more, let me know. For your writing community, find people who have the same goals, who have the same mission and the same way that they are creating their content. Maybe someone's just writing for fun. Maybe they're writing fan fiction. Maybe they're writing things that aren't going to be published. Maybe you want to work with people who are going for a traditional contract. Maybe you want to be working with people who are going for the indie lifestyle. Maybe you want something different than the other people. Find those people that are aligned with what you do because when you're aligned, you're going to be working together much more efficiently. And find the way that people want to do this in the same way. Because with this, if you are doing this, you can construct this however you want. You can have weekly meetings, monthly meetings. You can do writing sprints together. You can do things through DM. You can do things through a live stream where you are interacting with each other. You could do this on a live stream on TikTok. There's so many ways to form this community. So find people who are aligned with what you're doing and where your mission is going and make sure you're pulling them in and then have the conversations. Talk to them about how you're going to test this and how you're going to try this. Is this a limited time thing? Are you for 1 month all going to work together to work on your novels and you're going to meet once a week on camera, but every day you're going to check in through the DMs and you're going to be accountable to each other for those things? Spell that out. Make sure people are understanding of that and on the same page. Because if you have people who are not coming into this with the same understanding of how this is functioning, it's going to disappoint a lot of people, you and the others. And I want this to be good and quality and seamless for you. Now, if you want to make this a longer term thing, not just like a month thing, what I want you to do is do some tests and some trials. I want you to do it for 2 weeks and talk to each other, see how you vibe with each other, see how you're communicating, see the feedback, see what everybody's looking for. And again, this goes back to making sure people are qualified to do the same things that you're doing. If you want feedback from this and somebody else doesn't, they just want writing sprint buddies, that's not a good fit. So you are going to check in over the course of that 2 weeks. If that goes well, try it for a month. If that goes well, now you might have found your tribe. Try it for a few more months. If it doesn't go well, that's okay. Part ways. You're doing it for a short period of time. And you don't have to call it a trial. You don't have to say, well, this is to see if we're a good fit. You're just saying, I want to try this out for 2 weeks. How do you feel about doing this with me for 2 weeks? And then when you get to the end of the 2 weeks, have the conversation. Is this something you would like to continue? Because I loved this. I thought this was really great. Do you want to do this with me? They can make up their mind yes or no. You can do it in a way that is not abrasive and not confrontational, where you are asking them, I want to see if you're a good fit for being a writing buddy for me, for being a critique partner for me, for being someone who does writing sprints with me. I want to see if you're a good fit. That doesn't feel good. Say, I want to do this and I'd love to do this with you. Would you like to do this short term with me? And then reevaluate when you get to the end of that. If you feel good, if you feel comfortable about it, invite them to do more. Would you like to do this with me? I'd like to continue this. And if not, You just say, hey, this was a great experience. Thanks so much for doing this with me. I appreciate it. And go your separate ways. You can still be friends with them without hurting their feelings. So finding your community is incredibly important, and taking to social media to find that community is sometimes what you have to do. Sometimes you don't have those friends. Sometimes you don't have those relationships, and sometimes your friends just don't want to do it with you. That happens. I don't write on the same level that my friends write on. I'm incredibly fast. My friends are normal paced, and some of them are on the slower side. I don't have a friend that writes as quickly as me, so it's hard for me to find that community to do things with. So I've had to build my own little one-person community, and I have conversations with people outside of the community, but it's a little bit different for me. And you might have to do that as well if you're going to be a bit of an outlier. If you want that community, if you thrive off community, if you need community and accountability, you have to be responsible for building that. And I don't love relying on big establishments to do that because, again, things fall through the cracks. You aren't necessarily paired with the best people. You don't necessarily have the best access to people. I remember back when I first started doing some collaborations with people in terms of like they were writing and I was writing and we were kind of trying to form a community. It's really hard to mesh because we came into it with different expectations and different qualifications and different things that we were doing, and it didn't go well. And when I worked with some of these establishments, I couldn't find the people that fit me, and there was no benefit to me to being there because I was able to do things on my own without having that accountability partnership. And it just didn't fit well for me. So for me, things like that just didn't work. I would form my own communities, which I did at some point, and I had community and conversations and we did things together and it was really fun. And then I grew to a point where I didn't need that, or I didn't want that, or I didn't align with the things that I was doing anymore, and I shifted what I was doing. So please keep in mind, even though you want community now, doesn't mean you have to stick with that forever. Your community can be for a temporary period of time. Short, like a week or two, longer, like a month, longer, like a year, longer, like half your career, but it can change at any given time. So do not feel like you have to have community. Do not feel like you have to have the same community forever. Don't even feel like you have to have the same community for the same things, because you can have different communities within your communities. Have friends that write at your pace, that you can talk to them about how fast or slow you're writing and how you feel about it. Have people that write in your genre so that you can discuss the trials and tribulations of writing in that genre. Have people in the space where you're, trying to get an agent or trying to get a contract, or you're going indie, so that you can talk about those things with them. You don't have to have one group to cover everything. You can learn and grow, and things can shift, and friends can come and go, and partnerships and relationships and friendships and collaborations can come and go. And you just have to be able to ebb and flow with that, and you're going to find your constants that you are going to be able to go back and forth to for the things that you need in the time period that you have them. Enjoy the community that you're creating. Learn and grow and change what you're doing and adapt to how you're doing things, and make sure you've got lots of different circles so that you can discuss different things with different people. And don't be looking for that one perfect person that will cover everything that you've got inside this industry, because this industry is big and wide and lots of things happen in this industry, and you are going to need lots and lots of friends on your side and on your team backing you up with this. And finding people to collaborate with, finding people to form community with is incredibly important. We've got lots of videos on finding your community, even more so than what we talked about here. But this is really important. If you are not liking the community that you're in, or the community you're seeing, or the community that you feel like you have access to, create your own. Gather people around you who feel similar in whatever ways, and try and test and tweak and adapt and make what you need inside of this community to be able to thrive. It is up to you to build the people around you who are a part of your community and your team, and the people who are going to hype you up and be there to support you when you need it. Questions? Drop them down below. Follow along for upcoming episodes. We're dropping daily videos to help you navigate the world of publishing, from your writing to your publishing, your marketing, to make this your most profitable and stress-free year ever. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.